Hello, successful people. Welcome back to the Iron Fire Success channel. I'm TK.
And I'm Mo.
Thank you so much to our subscribers.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. In today's video, we're warning you about 10 things that you should know
before you get on the Celebrity Beyond.
Let's get sailing.
Here's 10 things we made notes about that you need to be warned about before getting on the Celebrity Beyond, and they're in no particular order. Mo, you want to take number one?
Yes, it's cold in all of the restaurants and all of the venues.
Yes, like me wearing this, I would be freezing whether we were going out to eat, going to see a show, or any enclosed venue, including the buffet. It was really cold.
Yes, so you're going to want to bring a jacket everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I mean like everywhere.
Okay, number two. I found this to be strange. You didn't find it to be as strange, but the walk-run track that spans decks 15 and 16, because going from 16 to 15, it's on a decline. From 15 to 16, it's on an incline. And because of the way it's constructed, you can't get from one side of the ship to the other without you walking on the run-walk track at some point.
Yeah, it's just a little unusual, especially when there's folks either walking or jogging on the track, or if you're someone who was expecting to just run on a level surface or run on a track that's on one deck. That's not the case. I mean, it's not that much of an incline, but if you got bad knees or something like that, I mean, it's an issue.
Another thing about that I noticed, Mo, is that because it's the way you have to get from one side of the ship to the other, there's people standing there taking selfies, having conversations, and there's hot tubs. Let me see if I wrote it down. On deck 16, there's 2 hot tubs, which means if somebody gets out those hot tubs and has to walk to the other side of the ship, now that run-walk track is going to be wet. So that was kind of weird. Okay, number 3. I know you have so much to say about this sports bar, Craft Social on the Celebrity Beyond. Nothing about it makes any sense.
So for this to be a mostly adult style cruise or this ship, the bar is just way too small. The sports bar is way too small. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than maybe a nice size living room.
And that's true. It really is. It's that small. The seating in there is very limited, and the area itself is so small that you know how if you're in a bar and there's no seats, you can kind of stand around and still like see the game and talk. Not in here. It's very tight.
Yeah, the old saying, standing room only. Well, this is seating room only. The other thing you need to know is that it is located right in the main plaza where they have concerts. They have these pop-up concerts and entertainers.
Right. So technically the main plaza starts on deck 4. So it's this big open in the middle of the ship. It's deck 4 and it's also open to deck 5. So the fact that Craft Social is on deck 5, it's open to the main plaza, not an enclosed bar, so that when there's entertainers and singing going on, it's going to be on deck 4, but it's right below where the Craft Social is.
Yeah. So if you're trying to enjoy the game, keep that in mind.
You're going to hear the game and you're going to hear the singing. Okay, so number 4 is the solarium and pool deck chair lounger Hunger Games situation that's going on this boat. You want to talk about that?
No, I'll let you take this one.
Remember when we were trying to find seats in the solarium and you were saying like, okay, what time would it be where we would need to get up to get a chair or a seat? Because no matter what time we got there, everything was already taken.
Yeah. The solarium is like that old Gap Band song. You got to get up early in the morning to get a seat in the solarium because, especially if you are on a cruise that happen to have maybe a lot of senior sailors, they get up really early in the morning and the towels we've gone there as early as what, maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and there's already towels on the
books.
seats.
What
So
people do, and everybody who cruises knows this, right? That people will get up super early, put some stuff in a chair, reserve them, walk off, show up 4 hours later or whatever, and there's just people's stuff there. I don't think there's anything anybody who cruises is going to be able to do about that, even though the rules say don't do it. Everybody does it. So now it's the Hunger Games where everybody's getting up earlier and earlier and earlier. I don't know. You said maybe they spend the night.
Yeah, spend the night in the solarium.
It's the same on the pool deck, though. The Celebrity Beyond is a really big ship where the pool deck is deck 14. Then you've got deck 15 that has that sunset bar and the rooftop grill. And then deck 16 has like 2 hot tubs, and part of that is the VIP, whatever, the suite lounge thing. So starting with deck 16, you can get seats up there, and seating is limited, but because it's farthest from the pool deck, it's possible you can find seats. And once you get to deck 15, you're like, it's near where the sunset bar is, those plunge pools. It's going to be a challenge finding a seat on deck 15. Deck 14, the pool deck, good luck with that. Now you need to sleep there. I don't know.
Altogether a different story.
Right. So we made sure to make a note about that. Okay, the number 5 is the thermal suite at the spa. Now, because we had an aqua class room, access to the thermal suite came along with the room, so we didn't pay any extra for it. But if I did have to pay for it, I don't know. Like, even though it came with our room, we went in there once, right?
Once.
That was it. And why?
Well, because there's not a lot of information. When you go in, they don't share with you where things are. For instance, we had to go on a little bit of a treasure hunt to figure out where the actual robes were.
There's people walking around in these white robes, not robes that came with the room, but they got them somewhere from in there. And we were like, where are these robes coming from? We didn't see any place where these robes were.
So finally, we figured out that they were inside of the lockers. So now there's this thing where you're opening lockers
to see if there's a
clean robe inside.
That's crazy. The thing that really got on my nerves about this is that in every video that you see about the thermal suites, they're these wonderfully relaxing looking heated thermal, what do you call them, like day beds or something, loungers. And it looks great. And there's a sign there that says people should not be there for more than 30 minutes. And there's only about 8 to 10 of them. People were in there camped out, sleeping, reading a book. It was like as if they got in there and just were like, this is cool. I couldn't find a seat by the pool deck, but this here thermal chair is all mine. And I'm like, that's annoying as I don't know what. If I had to pay for that, I'd be mad. But it was free, so I was like, whatever.
Right.
Number 6, the pizza station at the back of the buffet. Mo?
Wow. So we get to the pizza station. There are folks literally standing around, at least 2 folks standing around. And guess what? There was no
Wait, when you
pizza.
say folks, you mean staff who work
Workers,
there.
staff.
Right.
Standing around, there's no pizza available at all. And they aren't even prepping pizza or even putting any in the oven. It was
It didn't make any sense. And that wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning either. Let's tell folks. It was like in the middle of the afternoon, maybe in between lunch and dinner, where you would expect people would come and want some pizza. It was very weird. It was like as if they put pizza there, everybody went on break, everybody came and took the pizza, and they got back 20 minutes later and was like, oh, I think we should make some pizza now. That didn't make sense. Number 7, the infinite veranda. This is just a warning, which pretty much works the same way if you have a balcony room and you open the door. If you press the button to lower the window on the veranda, the air conditioning in the room is going to cut off. And if you open the door, it's going to create the crazy wind tunnel situation. Oh, number 8, you got to talk about this, Mom.
Number 8. Oh, yeah. You're going to want to arrive at the shows at least 30 to 45 minutes in advance of the start time.
There's no reservations for shows on the Celebrity. At least when we went on it, there weren't. So yes. And talk about the VIP areas that we noticed the situation.
So we noticed that in the VIP, at the beginning of the show, they'll have it blocked off, but it will only be blocked off for about, maybe 15 minutes prior to the show, and then it opens up to general seating. So
Right.
if you're VIP,
You need to get there early because we were there 45 minutes in advance. VIP section, you couldn't get in. And we noticed about 15 to 20 minutes before the show, they took all that away, and now it's general seating. So just know that was the case. And if you are going to get a seat in a venue that is not the theater, then know that you definitely need to get there 45 minutes early. We went to see a show in Eden, and we got there 45 minutes early just because we figured we should do it. And it was like we were already late. There was barely any seats.
and don't forget your jacket, because
It's cold in there. Oh, in Eden. Oh, yeah. That was crazy.
Eden was an icebox for
Yes.
sure.
And number 9 is really like your bonus observation, Mo, about getting to places early.
They don't have stadium seating in some of the venues like Eden. Beautiful place,
It's
but
a restaurant, really.
yeah, it's a bar restaurant, so they don't have a stadium seating, so you want to get there early again to make sure you can actually see the show. Maybe have a drink
Right.
or
Get there
dinner.
an hour and a half
Yep.
early, eat, have a drink. And there's bars too, like the club, their nightclub has shows in there where it's the same situation. If you're already in there, then that's great, but otherwise it's going to be challenging to get a seat. Oh yeah, now remember we did that at Craft Social?
So when we decided to go to Craft Social, we actually went early and watched a soccer game that came on before the football game that we wanted to see.
That's right. So now, since we were already in there, when other people who were watching the soccer game at the end got up and left, we were already in there so that we can get some good seats right in front of the big screen TV for the football game.
Yeah, we had to get dibs on the seats.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we forgot to mention about Craft Social, Mo?
What's that?
The timing of the food service, or
Oh,
the
yeah.
lack thereof. You want to talk about
So
that?
when we first got on the boat, it was around lunch time, maybe a little bit after, and we weren't quite ready to go to the room. So we went to Craft Social. Figured we go to the bar, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Craft Social is the only place that sold the chicken wings, right?
Yes.
So we went there. We waited
And
and
waited.
waited
And waited.
and
For somebody to take our order, and we waited so long, it was, I think, almost time for the buffet to open back up. So we were like, forget it, and left. So the service in there is not cool. I mean, it's really weird considering the place is so small. How can you miss anybody? But whatever. And finally, we're at number 10, and we're warning you that
you cannot do everything on the ship.
there's so many things to do in the Celebrity Beyond, and there's like multiple things scheduled at the exact same time or overlapping times. It just can't be helped.
Right. So
And the ship is so big that for you to make it from one thing to the other and the other side of the ship, you just wouldn't have time. So
Right.
what should we do about that?
well, I mean, you could do more than one cruise, do it. What you don't get to do this time,
Do it next
do it
time.
next time. So plan out your shows and the things that you want to see.
Yes. Well, those are our 10 things we're warning you about before you get on the Celebrity Beyond. I hope that this helps you plan your cruise the next time you get on the Celebrity Beyond.
Please subscribe for more content about new home construction and model home tours in and around San Antonio.
And subscribe to continue to follow us as we continue to turn our new construction house into a home and give you cruise and travel tips.
As always, until next time, be peaceful, stay prayerful, and count your blessings.